Patriots training camp. Thoughts on the team's 44 offensive players after 1 week. The New England Patriots practice Monday ended with yet another touchdown pass to Kayshon Boutte. He's been so good through the first week that any fans following the team's training camp likely know what kind of start he's off to. But camp is about more than just a wide receiver playing well. So today, we'll break down the offense with one thought on every player.
Fruit flies taking over your kitchen? This discreet plug-in trap uses light to attract flying insects, then captures them on a replaceable adhesive cartridge without noisy zapping or messy sprays. Want to get the best verified deal and see full details? Visit grabdeal.us/one right now.
QB Drake May. This may seem like a small thing, but May looks even more comfortable than last season, and he has been able to do more. That should lead to another great season. Advertisement QB Tommy DeVito. May didn't miss any games a year ago, but if he has to, the Patriots like having a backup with starting experience. His arm strength doesn't pop, but he checks the box for someone who could make a spot start. QB Baron Morton. He's gotten more snaps so far than a typical third-string quarterback, which speaks to the Patriots' plan of ideally developing him into May's backup next season. RB Ramondre Stevenson. I think Stevenson has done enough to keep the Patriots' backfield workload at 50-50. He just needs to hang onto the ball and build on the 13 straight games in which he hasn't fumbled. RB Tre'Veon Henderson. It's looked a bit like last season. Big, explosive plays, but just enough mistakes in pass protection that it feels like a risk to use him on third downs. If he can improve in that skill, though, look out. RB Lan Larison. He lacks explosiveness out of the backfield, which is more noticeable given the speed around him in the competition for the number 3 spot, and will need to show some running savvy in the preseason to win the gig. RB Jam Miller. The speed is obvious, and it could make him a factor in the kick return game. Those will be important reps for him in the preseason games. 3 running back job is wide open, especially now that Jennings participated in practice Monday, his first of the summer. RB Miles Montgomery. The undrafted rookie is another player getting a crack at the kick return job thanks to his speed, 4.44 second 40, which shows up on outside runs too. FB Reggie Gilliam. Added as part of the team's goal of being a more consistent rushing team, Gilliam has been everything you'd hope so far. He had a great block on a Stevenson touchdown Monday. Brown. After a relatively and understandably slow start, Brown has connected with May on some big plays and looks the part of a true no. He dislocated his thumb during Monday's practice, but wanted to remain in the session and continue squaring off against Christian Gonzalez, a matchup that has lived up to the billing as a highlight of camp. Advertisement WR Romeo Dubs. He does everything pretty well. Nothing exceptional, but he's just a good, solid receiver. WR Kayshon Boutte. The star of camp so far from an offensive perspective. If he keeps this up, he's either increasing his value on the trade market or playing his way into a meaningful role with the Pats. WR Mac Hollins. The Patriots love his willingness as a run blocker, but he hadn't popped much in the passing game until Monday, when he caught 3 touchdowns in red zone drills and looked like a potential no. WR Demario Douglas. In Josh McDaniels' first year back in charge of the offense last season, everyone expected a breakout for Douglas that never arrived. While a massive breakout would be a stretch, he does look more comfortable this camp and could be headed for more targets this season. WR Efton Kism. The roster crunch gets interesting at receiver, especially if Kism isn't going to play a big role on special teams. If he doesn't win the kick returner gig, it could hurt his 53-man chances. WR Kyle Williams. After a slow start, Williams appeared to suffer an injury on Saturday and missed Monday's practice. There's plenty of time to turn things around, but it's not how you'd hope his first week of camp would go. WR Kyle Dixon. He looks the part as a speedy guy who is 6'2" and has a 40-inch vertical leap. But in a crowded receiver room, he'll need to shine on special teams to earn a surprise spot on the roster. WR Cameron Dorner. There's a long way to go for him to make the roster, but Dorner keeps making plays with the third-team unit and could surprise fans and other teams by playing well in the preseason. Wr Nick DeGennaro, the target of the deepest pass at Monday's practice. It was unclear whether DeGennaro or Karen Prunty came down with it. DeGennaro has some big play ability. Advertisement Wr Kobe Prentice. Another of the team's undrafted rookie receivers, Prentice is undersized but has plenty of speed. T.E. Hunter Henry, what's left to be said? He's steady and always seems to be doing the right things as he enters year 11 in the NFL. T.E. Eli Raridon. The Pats could have been in big trouble after Julian Hill's season-ending injury, if not for a pair of rookies meeting the moment. Raridon needs to get bigger, but has impressed with his hands and route running and could be a factor in the passing game this season. T.E. Tanner Arkin. The undrafted rookie is big. Only one drafted tight end is bigger than Arkin's 262 pounds and has shown his strength in run blocking. He may be limited as a route runner, but Arkin can move bodies in the trenches and be a nice complement to Raridon's skills in the passing game. T.E. Jack Westover. He was a jack of all trades a year ago, but it looks like he may be on the wrong side of the roster bubble entering the preseason games. T.E. C.J. Dipper. An injury has limited the second-year player, but he's doing some drills to the side during practice, a sign that he could return soon. T.E. Mitch Van Voren. He was a late addition to the training camp roster as the Pats look to add bodies at tight end. He has a unique background as a former Division I 400-meter hurdler. T.E. Jeremiah Franklin. Another late addition, Franklin has probably slim roster chances, but the former Boston College player should get some important reps in the coming weeks as he tries to make the practice squad. L.T. Will Campbell. He put a tough postseason behind him and has been really good in training camp. It'll matter most when games arrive, but it's a positive sign so far. L.G. Alajavira Tucker. The Pats have managed his reps in an attempt to keep him healthy. When he has been on the field, he has absolutely dominated. Advertisement C. Jard Wilson. There has been plenty of focus on Wilson's snapping ability before practice as he slides from guard to center. R.G. Mike Onwenu. His size stands out among the team's guards, but he has used it effectively on downhill rushes, and he should still be one of the better players at his position in the NFL. R.T. Morgan Moses. Coach Mike Vrabel continues to crack jokes to the team about Moses' age, but the coach gives him plenty of rest in camp to keep him healthy for the season. O.T. Caleb Lamu. It's been mostly what you'd expect so far from a rookie offensive tackle. A bit up and down, pass protection better than run blocking. He figures to get a few snaps each game, even when Moses is healthy, as a jumbo tight end. C. Ben Brown. His struggles highlight a potential lack of depth for the Patriots on the interior of the O-line. O.T. Demetrius Crownover. He's a fascinating prospect given his size and arm length, but it'll be important to see how he uses those traits in actual games starting next week. O.T. James Hudson III. He moved to guard for some reps on Monday, and his position versatility could be a reason he makes the team. G. Keaton Wallace. That 2024 draft class looks even worse as Wallace's role shrinks, and a recent demotion to the third-team offense suggests he has an uphill climb to make the roster. G. Makey Butler. He was the beneficiary of Wallace's demotion, a good sign for what coaches think of Butler. O.T. Marcus Bryant. Another year of development helps, but his long-term projection probably tops out as a swing tackle. O.T. Lawrence Metz. The third-team German left tackle is 6'9", and, as part of the league's International Player Pathway program, doesn't take up one of the 90 roster spots. G. Andrew Rupsich. He has spent most of camp with the second team, and given the lack of depth on the interior, he'll have a decent case for a roster spot. C. Jacob Risey. Brown is still the favorite to be the backup center, but if his struggles continue or Risey excels, that could change. G. John Darius Morgan. The Pats need someone on the interior O-line to step up in the preseason games, and the undrafted rookie will get a chance.